the young and foreign.
Kick to the gut!
Your podcast sucks!
Brother, we have so many things to talk about, and I never thought we would be talking about this very topic, but here we are. It's been a crazy year. You know what? I don't know what to believe anymore. Let's get the pleasantries out the way. It's Mr. Young.
And it's four in the building, bro. First and foremost,
Yeah.
what do you think, bro?
What? Yes, I'm liking the
back in
new
black.
vibes. I don't know why it's pow chicka pow pow chicka pow pow. Got that vibe, you know what I'm saying? Let me say hello to chat right now. Zane G, what's up to you as well? Thank you so much for dropping by the live stream.
Yo, man, what's up? What's up? I hope you guys are already in for a good time because we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to dive into today, man.
And we would love to hear your ideas, your comments, your speculations as well. But okay. Before we do anything though, more like me lah, because I have been kind of busy this morning. I haven't caught up on the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather match. Is that thing over?
It is over.
Has Floyd
and
Mayweather
we have
tool?
a result.
Okay, did he tool the tool up? Because that's the only acceptable result, bro.
Oh man, I don't know whether you're gonna be surprised or you're gonna be disappointed.
Ruh-roh.
But actually, Logan Paul lasted all 8 rounds.
Wait, so it was an 8-round exhibition, it wasn't 12 rounds.
Yeah, so it was an 8-round exhibition match. It's not gonna be on his record, don't worry. So he just went the distance. He didn't get knocked out.
Okay, but did it seem like Floyd was just kind of, giving him chance, sort of just letting him do his thing? Because, Floyd is very well known for being the most defensive boxer out there, right? Like, nobody can touch him. So did Logan Paul even touch him?
So, he's not known for his knockout power, right? Like he is basically what you say, he's a defensive puncher and all that. So the thing is, I was very, very annoyed by the commentary. Bro, the commentary is just there for payday.
Yeah.
They are just like a bunch of boys that are just sitting around like us, just talking shit about the match. They're just shitting on the match as it's happening.
Really?
So they were like, oh yeah, do a TikTok. Come on, Logan Paul, do a TikTok. This is gonna last longer than your TikTok, bro. And they were trying to egg Floyd Mayweather on and say like, Floyd, we know you're not a knockout puncher, but for the love of God, please knock this guy out. Please knock this guy out.
Yeah.
So but you can tell from the way like Mayweather was boxing, he was having fun. I don't think he was going to trying to knock him out or he was trying to make an example of him. I think he was just enjoying. He did say at the end of the match that he's surprised by his resilience because he actually took a lot of like hooks directly to the face.
No kidding. So, okay, he did land punches. Irvin, how you doing, by the way? Welcome to the stream. It's always good to see you. Irvin says, when 8 rounds, consider a draw. Floyd landed 40%, Paul landed 10%. Well, no surprise there.
Yeah. So Paul took a lot of clean shots to the face, but I don't know. Maybe because he's a bigger guy.
Also,
I think.
Hold on, isn't there a huge weight disparity here? This is not this is a catch weight fight. Like this is not like they're not equal weight, right?
Yeah, they're not equal weight.
So I mean, okay. At the end of the day, you know what this smells like to me? Money. Yeah.
It's a money grab.
Money, like on all sides, it's a money grab. And I think even the commentators know it. And for those who paid for this, like, you got what you got. Like, bro, I know
the only ones that lost are the ones that paid money on pay-per-view.
Exactly.
The ones who won are the ones that live stream for free for no reason.
We don't suggest you do such illegal activities.
Wait,
but
before that, I need to mention something interesting.
Yeah.
There was a wrestling connection to the event.
Oh God.
There was.
Oh God.
So apparently during the match, like in between rounds, they actually they put up a show reel of all of Floyd Mayweather's past exhibition bouts.
Wait, Big Show?
Yeah, they actually threw to an image of him fighting Big Show, and it's like, oh, this is like some of the crazy wacky things that Floyd has done outside of his professional career.
But Big Show, that was a work. It wasn't even a shoot. At least this you can consider a shoot. You know what? This sounds like to me was a sparring match. Like you go to any gym, you can see a sparring match like this.
But you know what was funny? Because they were talking about the weight disparity, right? Between Logan Paul and Floyd. And then when they threw it to the Big Show man, it's like, hey, Floyd has not... what is Logan Paul? He has fought a super heavyweight in the Big Show.
I know that's funny, but I mean, to us, we know that, okay, one's a shoot, one's a work. So there is a huge difference there.
Yeah, I think they acknowledge that it was a work kind of thing. But it's just that it just goes in line with the wackiness of the team.
Yeah. Irvin says, the 40-pound weight disparity. You see, See, that is an actual factor. Unlike one certain, I'm going to bring it back to wrestling now. QT Marshall or Marshall, 1 pound is not a fucking weight disparity. Nobody gives a flying fuck, okay? Let me just put that out there. I had to throw my one mention of AEW because we're not going to talk about AEW today unless you have anything to bring up.
I think we already cleared what a lot of what AEW has done last week. But
actually, we missed. No, it just happened. So we need to bring this up, and it is in line with our topic for today. But Andrade El Idolo is all elite. Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, is all elite. Thoughts?
Yeah, man. That's a crazy thing. We didn't mention about Mark Henry. I think we were so fixated about the event last week that
you know what?
Of Mark Henry kind of slip our minds.
You know what that is though? That's a good thing because it was a good event. Like, I will give props where it's due. I'm not Mr. Oh, I hate AEW, right? Like, I'll call out the bullshit like Cody. But the rest of the event was good. So much so that we kind of forgot about Mark Henry.
Yeah. But I need to say something about El Idolo's debut. I kind of think that Vicky might have botched his announcement.
A little bit.
She did, right?
Yeah, a little bit. But I don't understand why she needs to be with him. Does he really need that heat from her? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they just want to like introduce audiences to like, hey, this guy is the new Eddie Guerrero, to be teamed up with the wife.
I guess. But who don't know El Idolo? I mean, Andrade, he was one of the big name people to have been released or left WWE.
The only way this thing pays out, well, is that, he rides with Vicky for a while. And then maybe he gets sick of her like after 2 months and like, okay, you know what? I want someone younger, fresher, better, and welcome to AEW, Tia Trinidad.
Zelina Vega, you mean?
Formerly known as Zelina Vega. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, actually, that would be very interesting. But yeah, so it's a very, very interesting time for the pro wrestling scene.
Yes.
Very exciting time. By the way, if you haven't already, let me just mention, drop us follow on our socials, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. If you haven't hit subscribe, hey, do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit that like button. It really, really helps us out, all right? Kick to the gut on all those social media platforms. Okay.
Currently, we are on 459 followers on Instagram. We need one more to make it 460, make it a round number.
Okay.
So please follow us if you haven't. And on YouTube, we have already reached 80 subscribers.
Nice.
It's a road to 1 million.
Yeah, road to 1 million. I like the optimism, sir. But yeah, help us out, man. And of course, if you're already listening to us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, we thank you so much for coming with us on this right now. Let's talk about the big news. And when it hit, I remember was it like quite late at night? You messaged me, right? I'm like,
yes, it was early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
Night.
Yeah, you messaged me. I was like, this has to be a joke. Is it what really? So okay, let's get down to it, I guess. Braun Strowman was the biggest name, right?
Yes.
Braun Strowman, Lana, that one no surprise, to be honest. Aleister Black, Santana Garrett, Ruby Riott. Who am I missing?
I think
Murphy.
that's it, like 6 people.
Murphy.
Buddy Murphy, yes.
Yes. So all released. Okay, so there's a lot of talk right now, and if you combine, let's just look at all the people they've released in 2021. Actually, just as a wrap up. Okay, Lars Sullivan, Steve Cutler, Big Show, Andrade, Samoa Joe, Mojo Rawley, Billy Kay Peyton Royce, Wesley Blake, Bo Dallas, Kalisto, Tucker, Chelsea Green, Mickey James, Jessamine Duke, Velveteen Dream, Vanessa Bourne, Kavita Devi, Alexander Wolf, Adnan Virk. Well, I mean, wait, hold on. Tom Phillips?
Yes, Tom Phillips was released as well.
No.
Yeah, bro.
Whoa, hold on. I thought they just demoted him. I mean, moved him to the main event.
Well, he didn't even last long in the main event. Only a few weeks and he's gone.
Okay, do you think he asked for the release because he got slighted? And I wouldn't even blame him because, like he was the guy on Raw. It's not like he was doing such a poor job, but they just gave his job away.
I kind of feel like, yes, I don't think he was fired. I think he asked for his release.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Wait, Alexander Wolf, are you saying Alexander Wolf from...
formerly Sanity and now Imperium? If you watch the NXT promos, he's kind of not really there anymore.
So Imperium now a 3-man team.
3-man team. They could obviously add Killian Dane at some point, get some European connection there.
I mean, the thing is, Alexander Wolf never really figured much, but I thought that he was having this interesting rivalry with Killian Dane and Drake Maverick.
Yeah. I think it was okay. Let's just acknowledge this, and then he's gonna just fuck off.
So then you just drop it, just like the Dark Father gimmick lah.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. Just looking at that list, right? There are a lot of big names. Some like understandable, like like Steve Cutler, like Wesley Blake, like Tucker. They were kind of going nowhere. Mickey James, like veterans, but they probably commanded a lot of money, and their quote unquote shelf life was done. So you understand. But like names like Braun Strowman, Aleister Black. I think those are the ones that jump out, right?
Those are the two biggest names that is like head scratcher. Not because like, I mean, if you really sit down and think about it, like if it's because of a contract situation, maybe we can find reasons.
Yeah.
But on the surface, you're talking about a recent World Heavyweight Championship contender.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about Aleister Black, which is the weirdest timing of all. He literally just returned on TV, and they spent like weeks building up a new gimmick for him.
Yeah, and then it's like bye-bye. And according to his like Instagram or his social media, it seems like he was not expecting this as well, which leads me to think that this is probably a money, issue within the WWE, quote unquote budget cuts, right? And okay, I did a bit of digging and reading on the dirt sheets, and then I came to find out about, because I don't usually read the dirt sheets. I just like to talk about the product that I watch. I try not to like want to know too much of the backstage stuff, because it's I still enjoy the illusion. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, but I did a bit of digging, and a lot of people are talking about this. Leads us to our next topic, I guess. The WWE looking to sell now. Before we say anything, okay, Irvin says, can you imagine if they swerve and add Drake Maverick to Imperium instead? The Matt is saying, can you imagine Drake Maverick doing all that shit?
First of all, you need to get a new accent.
Yeah.
And be hailed from somewhere in Europe. Find a country to adopt. I think he looks like a German guy. Can pull off. He can pull off.
Wait, isn't he English? Also can he European or then?
Oh yeah, he is English.
Alamak.
Rockstar Spud.
Yeah.
I remember Rockstar Spud when he was more like calling his UK roots.
Right.
But yeah.
Irvin says Murphy left to be with Aaliyah, really? Oh my god. I was like, who is Aaliyah then? And I realized Aaliyah Mysterio.
Bro, your favorite love story, bro. See, forget it.
Yeah, I'm so sad. I'm so sad that didn't go anywhere. Okay, so I did a bit of digging, like I said, and the whole big rumor is WWE is looking to sell, because not only have these superstars been released, right, but also a lot of internal staff, high-ranking officials in WWE, like we're talking about in the office side, management, they've been released as well.
What's the connection between selling your stars and trying to put it out for sale?
Hey bro, selling your stars, don't say on you like that, leh. Walao.
I mean, Braun Strowman is maybe 2 years since his prime lah, but still a big name.
The whole thing is, like, if you think about it, right? If let's say the rumors are true that WWE is looking to sell, for example, let's say Braun Strowman has a fat, juicy contract, and I'm sure he does. Right, yes. The rumor is that his contract is worth about like $1 million a year. He negotiated it very well, and this was during quote unquote better times, I guess. Even though WWE is actually technically doing very well, but think about it: a $1 million a year liability. That is what Braun Strowman is, if you're thinking about it from a money standpoint, correct?
Yeah.
So do
and
you
also
think
because he's not like the number one guy, like a main eventer, the way he was portrayed 2 years ago.
So do you think that he's bringing in is he worth that investment? I think they're looking at these books going, you know what? Nope, not worth it. He's not bringing in that amount, maybe in t-shirt sales, etc., etc. So he's like, all right, we have to write off or get rid of this $1 million a year deficit. So it makes their valuation higher. So they're worth more, because now they don't have all these liabilities. I mean, it all adds up, right? If you talk about Aleister Black, I'm sure has a decent contract as well. And then you add up all these other smaller contracts. It's probably like, all of a sudden your company is worth $5 million more.
You know what's crazy? So like, okay, I'm kind of the opposite of you, where like I just drown myself in all the rumors and innuendo and all the dirt sheets. So like I'm kind of pretty close to the ground in terms of following up with this news. One of the reasons that was so weird about the contract that Braun Strowman negotiated, right? Like you mentioned, it's $1 million contract. This was during the time when AEW was getting on the ball, right? In 2019. That's why people like the Revival managed to negotiate a big fat contract. And a lot of other stars during this period negotiated a contract. But apparently, for some weird reason, Braun Strowman was one of the only stars, like one of the bigger names that really negotiated a contract, but didn't insert this clause where he's not allowed to be fired during the duration of his contract.
Oh.
So it has so like a lot of the top stars, when they negotiated new contracts, they make it a point where if you wanna, it has to be a mutually agreed termination.
Bro,
or he asked for the release.
You explained it there already then. As in, he asked for a quote unquote a release valve, right? Like they can just cancel the contract whenever. Because he negotiated that, that's why WWE looked at all the contracts. Okay, this one cannot, this one cannot, this one can. Bye bye.
So right.
Makes perfect sense to me, bro.
You know what this shows, right? Shane McMahon was right all along lah. Braun Strowman is stupid.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
He is
oh
stupid.
My god. Don't say that. The Shadow, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining the stream. Hope you're having a great Monday so far, Lavin.
You just missed my joke.
No, I think he's been here for a while, actually.
Okay, but here's the weird thing, right?
Yeah.
I believe, right, maybe Braun Strowman was so blindly loyal to WWE, and he has said that in quotes in recent years, saying that, you know, if WWE were to fire him or for some reason like things didn't work out in WWE, he's done with wrestling. He doesn't want to work for any other company.
Bro, he posted an Instagram post, what? That he said he was not going to sign with any other company. If he isn't working with WWE, he's out. He's just going to do something else.
Yes, so I think he was so blind, like maybe he didn't think that WWE would fire him, you know. That was the last thing in his mind, like, oh, okay, maybe I should have this thing just in case they want to play punk with me. So for a guy who's so blindly loyal to WWE, how ironic is that the company stabbed him in the back?
Okay, well, I wouldn't be surprised though if down the road when things pick up, they'll just bring him back. Anytime he can just show up on the Royal Rumble, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And then maybe this time he'll come back smarter and negotiate, a locked-in clause, stuff like that. Irvin says Braun isn't very versatile if you think about it. It's not much more they can do with him.
Even if he's not versatile, a lot of things that were people saying online is how because Vince already has Omos, he already have Commander Aziz. They are like legitimately bigger, taller guys than Braun Strowman,
and they're probably cheaper.
Sorry,
they're cheaper. Their contracts are probably way smaller than Braun.
Much cheaper, maybe much more like early on in their career, they can mold them into what they want. And like if Braun's entire gimmick was he's supposed to be the giant in the WWE to take over Big Show, what if another legitimate giant came? But for me, right, I have an issue with this. Just because Great Khali got signed, does that mean you fire Big Show and Kane?
No, of course not. No, there's always room for giants to have giant brawls and attractions and stuff like that. But like I said, this giant was just too expensive. It was just a liability that had to go. And it is in line with the whole idea that they want to sell because it just makes their books look better. And if you looked at the someone, I think it was Edison, he sent on my Discord a screenshot of the WWE stock right after all these things happened. It went up.
Well, you know what? I don't know whether you want to give credit or lay the blame on Nick Khan. This new EVP is really doing his job. If you think about it.
Yeah.
He's trying to make the company profitable, right?
Yeah. Shadow says his theory is that the Khans are in cahoots. Maybe they're actually related. It was me! It was me all along! And they want to be wrestling royalty. Can you imagine the Khans own all of pro wrestling in North America?
Bro, they got a secret third brother, bro. Shah Rukh Khan. Bollywood pro wrestling.
And he's actually been secretly bankrolling this whole shit, right? Look, I don't think that... First of all, it's no relationship. It's a funny coincidence and everything. But at the end of the day, WWE, if they were to sell, they are looking to sell to Fox, NBC, one of the big networks that can continue on the legacy, quote unquote, right? And which brings me to, talking about legacy. No, I'm not talking about Randy and Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes.
Sure.
But like the idea of Vince McMahon giving up his baby doesn't sit well with me. You know what I mean?
I agree, because like it reminds me of like George Lucas and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Giving up like, the entire even Walt Disney is actually given up. Like Walt Disney, the actual Walt Disney guy, before he passed away, he gave up his company to a conglomerate. You know, so like
well, you more recently, if you want another example, the UFC, they sold to they sold to who already? Was it Fox? Fox at first, then ESPN.
No, that is like the broadcasting rights, but ownership rights is apparently this company that I've never heard of before, but it's like they do representation for all the artists like IMG Entertainment or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, essentially Zuffa, as in the Fertitas, they're like, okay, we're just going to sell off majority share. They'll still be there as like, you know, board members, stuff like that. Dana White remain. So that could be the deal going ahead. But okay, let me throw in a spanner, right? To counteract this theory that they want to sell. If you're going to sell the company, then why get rid of your biggest asset, which is the broadcast rights? As in, you know, the deal they made with Peacock?
Yeah.
They should hold that back if they want to sell the whole company, right? So that their value would be even higher.
Okay, put it this way, right? If Peacock is okay, so if NBC is one of the potential buyers, right? Wouldn't Peacock be like a testing ground period?
Maybe
because they only sign like a 5-year deal or some shit like that. It's not even a perpetual licensing, but they just want to test water and see whether it what's the difference, you know, in terms of like revenue exposure. Did it help being on Peacock? I wanted to ask you this question: since UFC sold, you know, the ownership to this big conglomerate, this corporation, how what's the difference? What is any tangible thing that has been seen?
To be it's less of a Wild West show, if anything. But the problem is then a lot of issue. People complain about fighter pay, right? Then you got the merchandise licensing. It went to Reebok, and to be honest, a lot of the Reebok gear looked like crap, lah.
Yeah,
you know, stuff like that. So a lot of the quote unquote power was taken away from the what the fans viewed as this is our sport. Now all of a sudden has become nice and shiny. You know, I think every fan base will feel like that. Like, oh, these big conglomerates, they don't know what they're doing. They'll ruin the product because all these suits will have things to say. And that brings us to a very not so recent, but definitely a scenario that we've seen before in WCW.
Yeah, because WCW was owned by a corporation. Yeah, they were originally bought over by Ted Turner, right?
Yeah. No, but in their heyday though, like because they had Ted Turner bankrolling it and everything, they were doing well. But then when they got sold, I believe, was it to Time Warner?
Time Warner, yes.
They didn't know what to do with it. It was just all over the map, you know. Like, okay, like if WWE does sell, but they retain Triple H, they retain all the, you know, head staff there to run the storylines and stuff like that, then okay, not an issue. But if they decide, okay, no, we want our own people in, all the suits have to have a say, then jialat liao. Okay,
so I'm looking at a couple of ways, okay? When you talk about how UFC right now is becoming super cleaned up, it's a bit too shiny and streamlined. And if you think about it, they take the power away from the fighters themselves, right? The fighters can't cut a stake into it unless like they are a big draw like a McGregor, then he can negotiate pay-per-view rights at that level. Yeah. But essentially, being under ownership means the fighters, the rosters are employees, right? But if you want to do a comparison, I think a very interesting comparison you can look at where there is no so-called streamlined in terms of the industry, where it's completely a free market. Look at boxing.
Oh, yes.
Boxing, the only thing that so-called as an organization handling it is just the what do you call it? The sports.
The commissions.
The one that gives all the regulations.
Sports commissions, yes.
Yeah, the sports commission. So the only thing that they do is just to ensure that it's a fair sport, right? Yeah. But in terms of promotion, in terms of ownership, in terms of pay-per-view slice, it's literally the purse is negotiated between the fighters.
Right.
So the fighters can come in as like businessmen and promote their stuff, right? And here's an interesting thing I've always wondered. Why do boxers make so much more money from their one-off fights than like UFC fighters?
Because boxing
and then I realized the reason is like... Sorry?
No, I mean, the sheer matter of the fact is the boxing has been around way longer too. You can't discount that, right? I think that has to do more to do with anything than ever. If MMA has been around as long as boxing, and there were that many freaking like disparate organizations, then yes. But the reason MMA is not there is because there's only one big corporation, if you think about it. Now two lah, I guess, UFC and one.
Yeah. And also there's this one more caveat in regards to for boxing, right? It's literally they cut off the middleman of the ownership, the company ownership.
No,
It's
but then you have an
literally
issue.
the fight.
Yeah, but then you have an issue of there are too many different, groups, titles. It's all watered down, so you'll never get the best versus the best because one is in this division, one is in that division, even though they're the same weight. You know what I mean? And yeah, and boxing, you're looking at the top few people who make the money. The rest are like, they're kind of all right only. You know what I mean?
So that's where it's like Wild West in that sense, right?
Yeah.
So there are pros and cons to, because obviously WWF, if you think about it, it was like boxing back in the day. It was wholly unregulated. It was its own kind of making up the rules as they go along, kind of shit. So for them to sell it off to a corporation like this gives them so-called the mainstream acceptance, in terms of societal, like they know like this is.
Are you talking about WWE now or what?
In terms of WWE is already, I feel like taking steps towards that, and selling them, it will be like the final push into let's call it the Marvelization of the industry lah.
But at the end of the day, though, like I mean, okay, then the topic goes to like wrestler welfare. Does selling it mean that they will be regulated now? I would say the answer is no. The system works as it is. Not for the benefit of the wrestlers lah, but for the WWE. So I don't think that like welfare will become all of a sudden a real thing.
Okay, let's jump to a conclusion and put our stand in this. Are you for or against WWE selling?
100% against. Like I mean, as a long-time fan, I think that selling just is a very dangerous thing because, like I said, once suits get involved, once like they can always say, "Oh yeah, we'll let you run things," but then there might be one or two fellas who are sitting on a board somewhere who are like, "I have a vision," and all of a sudden they start tweaking shit. Or you have a Tony Khan like motherfucker who's like, "I will let you all handle it," and then all of a sudden, 5 years down the road, he's best booker of 2025. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I want to use a Marvel reference. It's basically the equivalent of signing the Sokovia Accords. Like our hands are our own to control, right? Like maybe like this is like a Captain America thinking, right?
Yeah.
If we give up the right to protect the freedom of like whatever it is creatively, for better or for worse, if we give up the right for WWE to decide how they want to run the company, then like literally that reaches a point where
you can never take it back. Whenever a corporation decides, oh, this is the direction of the company, then that's the direction of the company. So if anything, you're probably going to be looking at a even more PG WWE. If they do sell.
Maybe WrestleMania will be like the Super Bowl. Like after every single match, got 3-minute commercial break.
Maybe. Why not? Right? Div Royalty, thank you so much for dropping by the live chat. How are you?
Hello.
How's everybody's Mondays, huh? Irvin says, talking about boxing, there's undercut boxers earning a few $1,000s on big pay-per-views. Yeah, the lower like 10%, 90%, sorry, they don't earn much, really. It's just the few who are big money. Yeah, that's all it is. This is the theme of the entire show today. It's money. Yeah.
And it's tough because like it's so weird. WWE's valuation has never been higher in its history, but the product has never been so unwatchable in its entire history as well.
Well, the PG era would beg to differ, but okay. Like, I mean, okay, in terms of, I get what you're saying though, like current product without, like, I mean, not looking at NXT, right? Really, who are their big draws other than Roman Reigns? Who?
Nothing. Okay. And it's crazy, like literally the reason why they got such big blockbuster deals from all these companies, right, is they are banking on the legacy of WWE, like all the historical content.
Yeah.
People remember WWE back in the day. So I think how they managed to even sell it at such a high price is because, I'm gonna give you access to all this awesome content.
Yeah.
And like it's not as if like the new content is gonna be as memorable, right?
Yeah. And well, I mean, right now, obviously. I really think though, if let's say WWE does sell, and Div Royalty says if they do sell, she'll feel low-key abandoned because been watching WWE with the McMahon all my life. Well, here's the thing. Even if they do sell, the McMahons will still be a part of the company, I'm sure, at some, management level, because they have the know-how, the expertise and stuff like that. So I wouldn't assume like, all of a sudden, all the McMahons, Triple H, and of course, Mr. Levesque will be the most pissed off lah. He's probably thinking, isn't this supposed to go to me?
And Triple H is a wrestling purist. Like, he would want, I think he of all people, especially at his position in power now, wouldn't want it to go into the hands of suits.
Yeah.
Even if he is a suit now, but at least he's someone who is in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
The best case scenario, bro, like, the only way this can work out, right, is for some weird ass reason, the corporation that buys over the company are huge legacy fans of WWE.
Oh, see, here's the thing. Legacy fans is one thing. Being a fan is one thing. But knowing who to give the reins to is another thing. Let me bring up the best booker of 2020 once again. We all know Tony Khan is a legacy fan. But now that he's gotten a bit of the, I can cut promos. Like right off the bat, remember when AEW first started, he was just supposed to be the bankroller. He's just giving the money. I leave it to my EVPs, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, whoever the fuck, right? Young Bucks. But now he's cutting promos. Half a year later, I'm sure he'll be in some fucking angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, I get what you mean. Like, they have to be legacy fans in the sense that they want to bring the product forward, not be too personally invested that they want to be
in the product
show. Right?
Look, man, like, I can
give you a very good example. Have you been watching Mandalorian?
Nope.
Well, Mandalorian is directed and conceptualized by Jon Favreau. So Jon Favreau is a huge legacy Star Wars fan, right? So, but the thing is, he took whatever he loved from Star Wars, tried to create something new, and added on to the universe of Star Wars.
Right.
And he has the knowledge of the fandom to inform how he makes decisions, right?
Yeah.
I think that one is okay. It's not as if Jon Favreau become the starring actor in a new Star Wars series about him, right?
Yeah.
So that's the conflict is there lah.
So there are a lot of what ifs. If they do sell, if it's just a money thing, if they work out a deal where we sell it, you own the rights, you get the profits, but you don't tell us what to do. I think that is going to be so key in this right now. If it's just a cash grab, all right, Vince wants to retire, then well, shit,
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because the thing is, Vince has always been passionate about wrestling, and he's always been a self-made man. I do not know in what situation, even at this later stage in his life, that he wants to give up his baby.
Yeah.
I think he's too proud of a guy.
Exactly. Wouldn't he want to bequeath it or hand it over to Stephanie, Shane, Triple H? Like, he seems like the guy who would, right? So, I don't know, man.
Okay, at most, right, the only so-called flirtation that he might entertain is licensing WrestleMania on a big network. Like, one-off.
Hey, but, that being said, I just remembered something, right? Like, didn't Vince buy over WWF from his dad? So he is a self-made man, but I feel like he wouldn't want to then just give the corporation over to Stephanie. So maybe, in a way, he's like, hey, you gotta earn your keep.
Triple threat match, Stephanie versus Triple H versus Shane McMahon for the rights to the WWE.
Okay, no, maybe storyline, yes, but in terms of real life, probably not, huh? But you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't, like, as much as he thinks of the WWE as his creation, right? At the end of the day, I don't think he would be the type of guy to just give everything off to Stephanie. And it's not like Stephanie is hurting in terms of money, So
yeah. I don't know, man. It's really tough to see what's the future of WWE going forward. But it seems like a lot of gears are in motion behind the scenes.
Yeah,
that makes it seem like a likely possibility.
Then again, it could just be the dirt sheets making stories, And and it's great for us to speculate and think of a future where WWE is sold off to I don't know who, but you know what I mean. And what if NBC one day in 10 years time they think that we don't need a wrestling product. That's it. The end of WWE. Do you think Vince would risk that?
Man. And another thing I have to keep in mind, right, is that WWE is the industry leader of pro wrestling. So as for better or for worse, right, their existence and continued success is important because it trickles down to everyone else in the industry. So if WWE for some reason were to fall and die, right, can you really count on AEW to be the industry leader? Tell me.
No, exactly. I had that very thought in my mind. Like, I don't think AEW is up there yet. Maybe one day they will be considered equals. But right now, I don't see it. You're right. And if WWE does quote unquote, fold for whatever reason, all of a sudden I think the pro wrestling scene will just die.
Yeah, man. And then this podcast will just end also, bro.
No, bro.
You don't want it to not happen, right?
We will shit on AEW every episode then. There's still content out there.
Oh my God. Okay. Speaking of other things, right? I think we need to also talk about the announcement that WWE just put out just a few days back that SummerSlam this year,
Oh, what?
SummerSlam is going to be held in a huge ass stadium with a 70,000 capacity, bro.
Yeah, in Las Vegas too. So apparently they have the whole COVID situation under control. So good for them.
Well, a weird twist of fate, the Floyd Mayweather match with Logan Paul was held in Miami. Well, of course, it's Miami.
Of course.
70,000 capacity as well, bro. Huh?
What?
It was a full crowd.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? People are dying to go to an event. So the first few events are going to make money. Yeah.
Maybe WWE is like, you know what? I just all out. Let's just have a COVID party.
No lah.
Big bang.
They looked at AEW. They're like, okay lah, AEW did it first, so we don't, we don't be a leader in this sense, right? We let them. If anything fuck up, they were the first ones to do it. But nothing fucked up, so they're like, okay, let's go.
Okay, but how is WWE gonna sell a $70,000 stadium given how shitty the quality has been the last couple of months?
Bro, people are hungry. They can put on some god-awful matchups. People will still go. I guarantee you people will still go.
There is some rumors, from the dirt sheets. Again, it's not confirmed. Don't quote me on this. But this might be the time where WWE actually brings back Brock Lesnar as a box office draw.
Right.
Not only him.
There's
rumblings that John Cena is gonna make a return.
Okay.
At SummerSlam as well.
Wow, they're not gonna wait for WrestleMania. They just one shot whack all.
2 marquee matches. Bro, Regent Stadium is bigger than WrestleMania, bro. In terms of spectators, it's like WrestleMania level.
Okay.
They gotta sell it out.
Yeah. So okay lah, it's like they missed the opportunity with WrestleMania, so they're gonna make it big, make their returns on SummerSlam. I don't mind. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go, man. I mean, we as wrestling fans are just dying to be invested in the product. It's been so tough. Obviously, the Hell in a Cell is coming up. And I think I posted this a couple of days ago that the only thing in WWE that's really keeping my attention is NXT. Thank God we have TakeOver coming up.
Yes, and there's something to really pay attention to. So, are we willing to put a bow on this whole releases rumor?
Yeah, but I want to do a special shout out. Let's discuss where each one of them should end up with, because we do not know where they will. But where they should.
Okay, Braun Strowman has already said he's not going to go anywhere, so he will go back to the farm and do some shit. So there we go.
If it was up to me, I think he should go to New Japan.
What? Oh, somebody, the rumor mill is just going overdrive on this, right? So they're talking about how Daniel Bryan also left. He might go to New Japan, and that's why WWE is talking to New Japan. If they sign a deal, they get both New Japan and Daniel Bryan back. And I'm like, okay, y'all getting a little bit crazy here.
Yeah, I think they're just fantasizing really.
yeah, a little bit. Why would you want him to go to New Japan? And also Edison, what's up? How you doing, man?
Yo, thanks for joining us, Edison. Well, for me, right, Braun Strowman feels like he can get back a bit of that monster aura if he was in Japan.
Okay.
For some reason, it's a lot of big men that has done well in Japan, historically. Before Albert came back as Lord Tensai.
Yeah.
You know, he actually had a great monster run as in New Japan.
Okay, hang on. You
fighting Brock Lesnar for the title.
bro, you're
you know?
breaking up a little bit. The internet connection is a bit wonky. So in the meantime, let me read some comments. Edison says, Braun Strowman, go and fight Logan Paul and get the bag, the money. Yeah. I would love to see that, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, man. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah.
Am I back there?
You're back.
Okay. So like I was saying, like there's a lot of monster runs that was held in New Japan. Lance Archer rehabilitated his career in New Japan.
And then came back to AEW
obviously
and got shat on left, right, and center, but okay.
Yeah, so like I said, New Japan was the one that rehabs it. Other promotions the one that fucks it up. So
I think Braun is just way too loyal. I have a feeling he just won't do anything until he comes back to the WWE.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Oh,
saying
okay.
This is I think that it would be great for his career. Like he should go.
Yeah.
You know, if he wants to stay in wrestling, of course.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So what about next?
Lana, the Ravish AEW. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's like a 2-second conversation, bro. AEW, obviously.
Yeah, with her husband Miro. Okay, Buddy Murphy. ROH.
Yeah, I feel like Buddy Murphy needs to go back to the indies and like
Tear
be
it
a
up.
star in a smaller promotion.
Yep.
I think Impact Wrestling might actually appreciate someone like him as well.
Nobody needs to go to Impact, let's face it.
Okay, fair enough. MLW, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah, but ROH, yeah. I mean, I don't know what's been going on with ROH, but I feel like, yeah, what a waste, bro. He's so naturally talented. You know, he looks great.
Yeah, the only issue is he can't promo.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I mean, that is a big issue if you think about it. So, Ruby Riott. This one to me is a huge waste because, like I low-key love Ruby Riott.
She's so unique. She's one of the most unique looking wrestlers they have.
Honestly, I would love to see her go to AEW to try to, beef up the women's division there.
Yeah. Oh, well, she definitely has more personality than half of the people there already. So that's like a win.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so much untapped potential. I think in WWE, she never really got to shine.
Nope, not at all.
She's always been held back. Riot Squad was great for a time, but kind of got old really quick.
Riot Squad was the vehicle to push Liv Morgan, let's face it. And even that didn't pan out.
Should have been the Morgan Squad then.
Yeah, but Ruby Riott was the veteran anyway. So yeah, I see her either going to AEW or Impact.
Yeah, I think somewhere where the women's division is taken more seriously.
Yeah. Okay, Santana Garrett, I don't know too much about her, so I can't say.
Her NXT run is kind of forgettable in my opinion.
Absolutely forgettable, yeah.
Yeah, I think she needs to go back to the drawing board. Maybe build up her reputation again in the indies. I don't think she's ready for the major promotions yet.
Nope. Last one, Aleister Black. Very sad. Like, I want to see him on. He is ready for a major show. So, I mean, I guess AEW makes sense. But then, you know what's going to happen when he goes to AEW? They'll feature him for like 2 weeks. And then after that, he'll just disappear and,
Here's my issue. And I think I mentioned it every single time on an episode in recent weeks. AEW is starting to get really, really bloated.
Yeah.
Like, really bloated,
Actually, that's WWE's problem. That's why they release so many people, right? Because WWE is bloated with talent as well.
I feel like either someone needs to step up and become the third big company in wrestling in North America. But the one that I think will be very, very interesting and very exciting, right? I honestly think Aleister Black going to New Japan.
Yeah.
Imagine his matches with Jay White.
Yeah. Yep.
Imagine he's this Lone Ranger that has a match with Will Ospreay. I don't know. I just find because he's not really a talker.
Yeah.
Right? I think his stage presence and body charisma can set him apart in New Japan.
Yep. And his style works as well. There.
Hard hitting.
Yep.
A lot of strikes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will agree with you 100%. I think New Japan would be the place. And I would actually legitimately start watching New Japan again if he were to show up there. Like, if
he get to be himself.
Yeah.
He get to fight the way he does.
Yes. Like, if Braun Strowman showed up at New Japan, honestly, I'd be like, maybe I'll watch one match and then I'll be like,
just to see what it goes, right?
Yeah, but if Aleister Black showed up and they gave him a prominent slot, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm watching this shit.
I kind of like his indie name, Tommy End.
Tommy N. Yeah, sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, just something very menacing about it.
Or maybe he can go UK. NXT UK.
Oh well, I don't know about that.
But so yeah, there you go. Those are the current releases. As we've talked about, like, you know, Andrade showed up on AEW, friggin' Mark Henry, Big Show. Okay, so the thing is, right, for AEW, in August, they will have a new show. It's a Friday night show, AEW Rampage. So with their bloated roster, at least they can spread it out. Now, the question is, will they have exclusive show rosters? Or is it going to be like a WCW Thunder type deal where that's the B show and all the B talent goes, and then they have Elevator, and then they have Dark. So technically, okay, they have 4 shows now. 2 YouTube, 2 on network, on cable, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just got a couple of questions. Is the TNT title going to be a TBS title? Or like you said?
Well, the TNT title could remain on TNT and go to Rampage.
Oh, yeah? Oh, so Rampage is going to stay in TNT permanently?
Yes, Rampage will be on TNT.
The Dynamite is going to go TBS.
Yes, Dynamite is the one going to TBS. So yeah, maybe there will be a new secondary title showing up.
That's interesting.
There are rumors of a 3-person trios title. I think that's a terrible idea. You don't need that.
I mean, they have so much factions that I think maybe they might be the only one with the squad depth to actually do that.
I suppose so. But okay, honestly, like who? They have the Jurassic Express, they have Inner Circle, they have the Pineapple, they have Dark Order. That's 3, 4.
Best Friends.
5.
They have Death Triangle. Do you mention Death Triangle?
Oh God, right, fine. 6.
Bro, they got a lot. How many Dark Order? How many versions of Dark Order can they do?
True,
there's already 4.
Dark Order could be like 2 teams. So
bro, then don't forget the Nightmare Family, bro.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, Nightmare Family, the Factory.
We haven't even mentioned all the weird ass one like Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. And like the fucking, like, I think got one more girl that hangs out with them.
Team Taz. Okay lah. Okay, 10. Sure.
Bro, 10 factions. So like 10 times 5.
Oh, okay.
Hardy Family Office.
11, yeah. Okay.
Bro, they have a lot. Actually, it does make sense.
It does, but it's like it's so.
Not saying that it's good.
No. I feel like it would be so bloated and like you know what I mean. Like you're not gonna make stars with a trios title. There's a reason why a trios title is such a rare thing in any organization. It doesn't make stars. The whole point of tag teams is to make stars.
Or maybe it's just like a fun way of like, at least because, okay, obviously WWE is also guilty of having multiple 6-man tag matches, right?
Yeah.
But maybe it's a reason to give them some stakes. Okay, now I have 6-man tags, but you can contend for sure. Obviously, you know what it's going to be doing? It's going to be like a whole bunch of tag teams plus one random guy.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that.
Yeah. Yo, whatever lah. I mean, to be honest, right now there's a lot of excitement and buzz about in AEW because, you know, they are like doing all these awesome things. All of a sudden WWE is releasing people and they're like, ooh, let's see who we have. I mean, AEW did release a couple of wrestlers, but they didn't make it like a big announcement, and I think the dirt sheets didn't really pick it up. Some of them were announced, but they weren't big names lah.
So I only know about Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc left because of the whole
that one was a
speaking out movement.
Yeah, that was a long time ago though, wasn't it?
It was a long time ago. But in terms of recent ones, that's the thing. It's like if you leave AEW, you're not definitely gonna get picked up by WWE.
Yeah.
What makes you think you're going for WWE?
So you cut out
somebody coming home lah.
Yeah, bro, you cut out for a few seconds there.
All right, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time once again to see where this whole thing goes. I'm actually quite excited for the AEW product. Not gonna lie.
I am curious to see like how the new faces interact. Like, okay, LA Delo, obviously, you know, if they treat him like a main event star, I think off the bat he can fight Kenny Omega.
But he's coming in hard as a heel.
Yeah. So what AEW is lacking is actually faces. So if they start pushing their Darby Allin, Jungle Boys, even finally give that so-called mini push to Christian to at least try to contend for the title once.
Yeah.
Something lah.
Yeah.
There are gonna be fresh matchups lah. That's something that AEW has that WWE might not have right now.
Also, there are a lot of like very interesting connections if you think about it. You know, now that El Idolo is in AEW, I mean, his Are they like engaged?
Charlotte Flair,
Yeah.
engaged.
Are you engaged? I mean, his fiance is in WWE. Can you imagine if one day Charlotte goes to AEW? The Flair legacy. Like,
Yeah, she has a reason to.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she probably has a big fat stonking contract as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically the wrestlers testing Tony Khan's water. See how deep his pocket really is.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, his pockets are way deeper than Vince McMahon. So,
Well, he needs to prove himself, lah.
yeah. Well, first of all, stop booking. Anyway, looking at the list right now of people who have gone, we've talked about. I mean, okay, Velveteen Dream is the only one who hasn't really quite showed up anywhere else, right?
Yeah, oh my god, Velveteen Dream is such a wasted potential. He was my man. He still is my man in a way in that I want to see him succeed.
Yeah,
but he needs to take a couple of years off.
Redeem himself.
Start again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Phillips, will he be all elite and call the action with Mark Henry?
Well, you definitely prefer him over Jim Ross, right? At this point in time.
Yes. I mean, I don't know why he doesn't get a lot of love or praise, but I thought he held, his ground very well.
If Tom Phillips is let off the leash and being able to do his own thing, I think he might actually be a really good commentator.
Oh, he is. I feel like he has been. I feel like he's been holding down Raw, and he's got the shaft so many times. Like, the poor guy, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe if he gets picked up by AEW and they give him a decent slot to highlight, like a main commentator slot, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And over on like AEW side, they need to stop rotating like people. Like Tony Schiavone, JR, and Excalibur is one team. Stop putting Taz and Excalibur or Big Show and Tony Schiavone. Like, some of those combinations just really don't work.
Yeah, and like stop making your commentators all ginormous heavyweights.
Yeah.
You're making your wrestlers look small,
That's true. You got Big Show, you got Mark Henry, you got Taz.
Yeah, fucking hell. And next thing you know, you got Braun Strowman, Rampage.
Fuck, stop it. Hey, how you doing, Jason, man? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. All right, we just talked about what if WWE were to sell. We talked about the releases. Let's talk about something a little bit more concrete. NXT TakeOver in your house.
Yeah, man, can't wait to talk about this. You know what? It's weird because I kind of like it has been a little of a down period for NXT actually, in my opinion. Ever since WrestleMania.
Yeah. They're sort of like restarting the feud, seeing what happens. And the thing is, okay, with all this like turmoil going on, NXT is just kind of cruising along like, okay, no. They're in like a bomb shelter because they're kind of still the developmental of WWE. So not a lot of these waves are affecting them, which is good.
It almost feels like NXT's been on the back burner in people's minds.
But they're low-key putting out good matches, good storylines every single week. So, okay, technically we only know 4 of the matches so far. I'm sure they'll announce 1 or 2 more this week, right? But
yes,
what we do know now, Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon.
For the women's title?
For the NXT women's title. Is Shotzi injured?
I don't know.
They beat down Shotzi, so I guess... Here's the problem. Like, here's the thing, right? Like, you're essentially recycling a former champion. I don't see Ember Moon taking the title back. So this is essentially like, here's a marquee win for Raquel Gonzalez to beat a former dominant champion.
Yeah, definitely. And to put more people in front of her so that she can beat and build up her momentum.
But does it mean that the women's division is kind of stagnant right now? Like, there's nobody else for Raquel to beat up?
I don't know, man. I feel like Dakota Kai eventually will be interesting. There's Frankie Monet. Don't forget about her.
To be fair, Dakota Kai has never been interesting. Except when she turned. Then she was interesting for about 3 weeks.
I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a fan in my opinion. But like, there's still Frankie Monet, like I mentioned. Yeah. Kiwi.
Yeah. Like for me, Dakota Kai has never really stepped up in terms of her promos. Like there's like in terms of a look, yeah, she's got a cool look when she turned heel, but now she's just doing the same thing every single week. To me, it's like, okay, show me something else.
You know who took over, surpassed her?
Who?
Raquel Gonzalez. Started off as the bodyguard. And then became the main girl.
Well, like, I mean, if they were trying to do a Shawn Michaels Diesel thing, let's not forget Shawn Michaels was an amazing performer and incredibly good on the mic as well. He stood out. He gave the shine to Diesel. You know what I mean? In this case, it's like, I don't think Dakota Kai gave any shine to Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez was just a dominant looking and dominant champion.
So in spite of Dakota Kai, she got over. Not because of her.
That is why I feel anyway. This match, to be honest, like I said, I don't see Ember Moon winning. It's just there for Gonzalez to win. And Dakota Kai, I'm sure, will have something to do with it. So there you go.
Sure.
Yeah. Xia Li versus Mercedes Martinez. Tian Sha. So okay.
Xia Li, my main girls.
You know, like this feud kind of, they're trying to give it the backstory, but it's only just kind of started a few weeks ago, right? But you know the backstory, right?
Well, I just know that Tian Sha has supposedly been teasing that she's gonna appear, and she hasn't been appearing at all.
Mei Ying, you mean the head of Tian? So Tian Sha is the group name, the faction name. Mei Ying and Boa. I mean, Mei Ying's the one with the face paint and everything. Well, I mean, who did Mercedes Martinez beat in the very first round of the Mae Young Classic?
Xia Li, right?
Yeah, so they are bringing that history back lah. You know,
Interesting.
A smart nod, and like Xia Li, her last promo was like, oh, and she did it in Chinese, so with the subtitles. Thank you. Stop making her try to speak English, because yikes.
Yeah.
But you can feel, even if you didn't understand it, you just read the subtitles, you can feel her emotion, everything. Like, you know, that was a disgrace. You know, I'm a different person now. I need that win back sort of a vibe, so I can get behind it. But once this goes into the ring, we know that like Xia Li has been okay in the ring. You know what I mean?
She needs time lah. She needs time to improve.
So obviously, this is another match that's like quite easy to call in that you know that this is going to be Mei Ying's sort of a big debut. She's going to, I don't know, spray red mist, black mist, whatever the fuck.
I'm curious to see how she performs or how she comes across. Is she going to be like the new Undertaker or some shit? I don't know.
I am thinking I don't know why, I feel like she's going to have some kind of mist.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so like, you know, it's an Asian thing. Apparently all Asians have green mist. Isn't there like a whole, okay, hang on. People in chat, I don't want to Google it. I will Google it if nobody knows. But there is, like the color of the mist has a different effect, right? In wrestling lore. So green mist is supposed to blind. Red mist is supposed to sting, correct?
Yes.
It's burn, right? Red. Blue, okay, so there's blue mist and black mist. So black is poison, is it?
Black is like the highest level, the most top level.
Yeah, so I'm thinking for Mei Ying, it has to be black mist. Because green mist, we've seen from Asuka already.
Yeah, it's like an end killer lah. Once you cannot die already.
Yeah. Or blue mist, because it's at least different. Okay, what's blue mist? Oh, blue mist is confusion, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not what? Pokemon, is it?
Yeah. Apparently, Asians got some glands in the throat that can generate the mist, Irvin. You're right. That's according to pro wrestling law. So my question is, blue mist is the one that generates confusion, right? So maybe blue mist. Then Mercedes can and then act confused and shit.
Man, wrestling is so weird.
No, but the funny thing is, like, we buy into this bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, let me
watching Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, obviously. Let me Google. But that's the huge cash cow right now. Isn't Tyron Woodley going to find another Paul brother as well?
Yeah, the younger one.
Oh god. And, that one is going to be awesome because I can't wait to see Tyron Woodley just. Because that one's a heavyweight. That one's like legit. Like, I don't know if I told you this before, but I've seen Tyron Woodley. He came down to Singapore for some UFC thing, and he was training at Evolve. This is when I trained at Evolve, right? And I saw him in the octagon in the ring, with like one of the Thai guys who were holding pads for him. And every shot, every kick, every punch sounded like a gunshot. It's like, bro, like look at Tyron Woodley. He is jacked and yoked to the gills, and these poor Thai motherfuckers, they are like tiny guys getting destroyed. The pad, I'm like, well, the pad gonna explode or not?
Wait, did they survive? Like, did the Thai guys, their hands went out alright?
They did lah. I'm just kidding lah. You know, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but okay, very quickly.
Yeah. But Tyron Woodley, I mean, he's a legit beast.
Oh, he's a legit beast. He's a super nice guy as well, by the way.
Nice.
Irvin says, doesn't it prove that WWE was right for doing celebrity matches? Oh yeah, 100%. They're 100% a draw. You know, Unfortunately for the WWE employees, like they don't get the draw money. Only the celebrity gets the draw money, which kind of sucks. Like I don't think Big Show got an extra bonus for fighting Floyd, or Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn didn't get extra because their thing had Logan Paul in it. So very quickly, I want to jump back to the mist colors. There's more than those that we mentioned, by the way.
What else?
Okay, green mist obstructs vision. Red mist burned the eyes. Gangrel used a blood mist, which was different. That one blood. Black said to blind the opponent for several weeks. Okay, there you go. So it's like a stronger version of green. Blue sends the opponent to sleep. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so it's a bullshit one.
Yeah, not blue. Hey, bro. Real one. Okay, yellow mist paralyzes the opponent. So like paralysis. Purple mist causes momentary distraction and memory loss.
Purple.
Yeah, got purple mist, bro.
Wow.
That's it. I want to see Mei Ying use purple mist.
This is like Mortal Kombat where all the ninja of all the different color palettes.
Yeah, got different like powers and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I mean the whole like Mei Ying is very the Su Yang vibe, right? The Su
Yeah,
Yang...
so I was thinking like, is it Su Yang? But it's
No.
right?
It's someone who's actually in the NXT Performance Center. So because they're kind of running on the same vibe, and Su Yang uses a mist as well. So I'm thinking, yes, definitely a mist. I'm actually excited for that.
Yeah, I can't wait, bro.
So there you go. That's the thing. Okay, the next one has a longer feud. This is for the $1 million leg. Hang on. Before we get to it, Irvin just said something very funny. You know who else in the WWE has a mist?
What?
Transparent mist. Get over mist. Triple H.
Oh, water mist.
Yeah, that one you spit, you will get yourself over.
Nice. Not swallow, just spit only.
Walao eh. That one, the Cody also has. Anyway, LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes for the $1 million legacy.
I am kind of intrigued by this match, to be honest.
Yeah, I am as well. It's funny because like it's sort of a very vague thing, like the $1 million legacy. It's not really it's neither here nor there thing. It's like it's like two young guns trying to seek some old veterans' approval. That's all it is, right? Because technically, in terms of a legacy, he has his son. Like, I mean, and his son was in legacy, wasn't he? Ted DiBiase Jr.?
If this was supposed to herald the return of Ted DiBiase, then it would be an awesome payoff.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think that it's first of all, with Cameron Grimes and $1 Million Man, those skits have been funny. So it's been entertainment. I've been sports entertained and all that. And then LA Knight comes in to Tap Xiao. You should be my daddy. It's like the both of them trying to be his daddy. It's like, I understand it in that I understand the whole concept of I want to be part of this legacy. But at the same time, it's like, is he going to give you the $1 million belt? Is he going to be your manager with, like they haven't really explained that. I don't think $1 Million Man has said, I will be your manager. I will guide you. No, it's just like both of them trying to suck up to this legend. That's it.
It's a very low-cut feud or low-cut reason to feud,
Yeah.
It's a very stupid reason. I mean, of course, it doesn't beat Chris Jericho fighting with Kane. Chris Jericho fighting William Regal for peeing in his English tea lah.
But like, okay, that one I would be pissed off if somebody peed in my tea and I drank it by accident. Of course, I'd be furious. So that one has a legit reason. This one is like two kids fighting over the approval of one guy.
For the money.
No, here's the thing. They never say anything about money. Cameron Grimes is already rich. LA Knight may not be rich, but he's like, like arrogant.
Pulling off the Nick Cage or Johnny Cage vibes.
Like, I don't know if it's me, like, when I watch LA Knight and his promos, I don't know if he's doing a very good job or I just think he's not that good, but...
I get what you mean. I think he's not a good fit for NXT.
Okay, you think that he should be on a bigger stage, like...
No, I think he was perfect at NWA.
Oh.
I don't know why he left. He's very regional type of wrestler,
Okay. Like, you can tell that he's been influenced by The Rock and Austin with his cadence, but it's not Rock. It's not Austin. He doesn't have the charisma, but he has... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like everything is there, but it's just something is off. Either
It's
that,
the X factor lah.
yeah, either that or he's really good at being a heel and I just can't stand him. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's really getting under my skin, but I want Cameron Grimes to win this. So
Cameron Grimes, the most lovable guy in wrestling, so who wouldn't want him to win?
exactly, right? So I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win this, but I want Cameron Grimes to win this. So there you go.
Yeah, let's stick with Cameron Grimes.
Okay. See, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if they're adding one more match or maybe they're just gonna keep this to like 2.5 hours because the main event has 5 people in it.
It could last 40 minutes for all we know.
Yeah, I think it will.
Is it an elimination match?
No, it just says fatal 5-way, so the first pinfall.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it would make more sense for this to be an elimination match, right?
I mean, for time purposes, maybe it would. But again, like I feel it's a bit of a clusterfuck, but also the talents on hand are really, really good.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm conflicted.
Yeah, I don't see this group of talents like screwing it up in terms of like. I'm sure everyone will have their moments because look at who's involved, right? But before we get there, though, where are the tag team titles? Where are the women's tag team titles? I think that match has to be added somewhere along the line.
Where's the cruiserweight title?
Yeah, actually.
Where's Escobar?
Yeah, no, Escobar moves on already.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like, where's Escobar in this NXT takeover?
Yeah. I think maybe what they'll add is MSK versus Legado, and then Escobar will be in their corner. So he takes a break lah. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
And Kushida is the cruiserweight champion. He doesn't have a match yet.
How's that Swerve Scott and his dollar? I don't even know what's the name of his faction.
Hit row.
I don't know, man.
So okay, like I low key like obviously now I'm more interested in them because they have a gimmick, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this hip hop like producer group, whatever. It's funny to see AJ, i.e. the big guy, I like top dollar. It's funny to see him on WWE Most Wanted Treasures. Like he's like such a fanboy, a nice guy. And then on NXT, he's like, yeah, hit row.
He's really playing his gimmick lah.
Yeah. They are very annoying, and it works for them as heels.
Yeah, the girl looks like she can be like Jade Cargill equivalent, huh?
Yeah, she's like Red Velvet, Jade Cargill. I don't know if she's had like a proper match yet. So I can't say much about what she's brings.
New, right? She's not even like a previous wrestler repackaged or what?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, she's definitely a new talent. So, like where are they? Right? Where's the tag team titles? So maybe MSK will have a new challenger come this upcoming NXT.
We shall see.
Yeah, but I definitely think one more match will be added to this card. So okay, let's jump to the main event then. Also, before we get there, how about Index, bro? Index.
Very sad. I feel bad for Dexter Lumis. His heart kena broken, bro.
Yeah, and he cried. Did you see it or not? He cried, bro.
One teardrop.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Dexter. You know, he's like this serial killer vibe weirdo. So it's like, wow. And then I love also referee Ryan. How you doing, by the way? Thanks for dropping by.
What's up?
I love how Wade Barrett is like, oh, what is all this like Twilight teenage bullshit? Whereas Beth Phoenix like, oh my god, they should be like, I low key love this shit. Like they are having fun with it. You can tell.
Not since Mandy and Otis have I rooted for a wrestling couple any harder.
And obviously, if when they get back, they get together. I don't know how this will work, but it's gonna play into the way, and then you'll have Candice LeRae like, oh no, this
maybe
is the
it will become
breakup.
like SummerSlam where Randy Savage finally got back together with Elizabeth.
Yeah. Actually, why not?
Top
Right?
of the century, why not?
Yeah, this is like Julie, Romeo and Juliet type story where the family.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. I think that's where they're headed to. So this will obviously lead to a feud between Candice and Indy when they do drop their women's titles. Wait, they are the women's champion, right?
Yes, they are.
On NXT. So there you go. They don't have a match. Curious.
We shall see. Maybe Dexter interferes or appears or whatever it is, but I just want to see him there.
And then Index goes and kisses Loomis, and then they lose the titles because of that.
You never know. But I think what I like is it gave Dexter Lumis a bit of a character development in a way that I didn't expect, but it's still is growing his character.
It is. Div Royalty says, I especially love Mama Candace and Papa John. I mean, it feels like Johnny Gargano, you give him whatever role, he can do it. He seems like he's having fun.
Yeah, that's great. And it's great that he's so established in NXT where he's like the veteran as opposed to trying to prove himself as he was years ago.
Also, talking about the men's tag team scene now, you got MSK, you got Grizzled Young Veterans, you got Ciampa and Thatcher. So, I mean, immediately there's another match right there.
It's
right?
stacked, bro.
It's stacked.
The division.
So why is there no match? Okay, I'm sure we'll find out on this episode, upcoming episode of
still
NXT.
one more week of NXT.
Bro, NXT is exciting. I enjoy the shit out of NXT. Like right now for me, WWE shows it's NXT. Actually, no, it's the biography.
Dark Side of the Ring.
I kind of don't really watch Dark Side. I watch a few episodes if like they are really interesting. Yeah, but. Like the North Korea episode is like I already knew the story because I listened to Eric Bischoff's podcast, right?
Are you ready to watch, or have you actually watched the Grizzly one?
Which one?
The most recent one, the Jake Snake, the Snake Roberts
that one I definitely want to watch.
Okay, bro, you need to watch that shit.
But I already know his story because there have been
I know
documentaries.
You know his story, but just to see it and with the actual people involved in it, like Rockin' Robin and all that.
Yeah. Actually, it's going to be and this is a huge sidetrack, I know, right? But first of all, those biography shows are killing it, right? I haven't watched Bret Hart. I definitely want to watch Bret Hart because I freaking love Bret Hart. Yeah. Jake the Snake was on WWE Most Wanted Treasures, which was very surprising because dude's on AEW. He's not doing jack all on AEW, but he's doing,
AEW. Yeah.
Like, to be honest, the Most Wanted Treasures episode was more interesting than anything he's done on AEW. Okay. But just watching these veterans, like the old school, I don't want to say like 18, like, that era of wrestlers, I'm like, man, I know, I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, the old wrestling is better wrestling. But when they hit people, it looked like they hit people.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I swear, I feel like I bring this up every week, but the current wrestlers look like they're just like, and then like there's no snugness to it. Like when I watch a Bret Hart throw a punch, it's like, oh shit, was that real?
Man, he was a master at his craft, and I think it's appropriate that his biography is gonna be the season finale.
Okay,
as it stands. So, what better way, man? Like Bret Hart, it was kind of before my time, but he's still. I've read his biography, his 700-word freaking novel twice. I know everything about his life. I just think that he is very relatable. He's a very human. Yeah. Like for all the superhero over the top characters of the 90s, right? Yeah. He's the one that you feel like such a human, relatable person,
And not only that, right? He's also he loves the art. Like as a creative, like as a creative that you and I both are, right?
WWE creative, no,
not WWE creative, but like people in the arts, people who. You know what I mean? Like we can understand where he's coming from when he, has certain issues, and he had a lot of issues, obviously, with the WWE in terms of their direction. Like I can relate and I understand, like where he came from, stuff like that. I mean,
also his frustrations where he's trying to be the good guy, but everyone just turned on him and everyone just fucked up. Like I feel that in a lot of how I deal with people as well.
Yeah, like I mean, he the way he got jaded is definitely something that I think all of us can relate to as well. So anyway, the biography episode is out, right? I haven't watched it. I definitely am going to watch it later.
I was watching that instead of Logan Paul and Mayweather. Much better.
1,000 million times better. But okay. Oh, also WWE is doing like a countdown of their 50 greatest tag teams.
Yeah,
which is very interesting as well. Like I was watching the first episode, and like I said, they showed a lot of like that old school late 80s, early 90s tag teams, and everything just looked more snug. Like I'm like, what is up with today's wrestling where the punches look hokey? You know what it is? Fuck, man. Enough with the fucking collarbone bullshit thing that looks like cock. Like I hate it. Like.
Bro, that's a New Japan thing, bro.
I fucking hate it so much. It looks dumb. It looks dumb because we know you're pulling the elbow, right? And I mean, hey, I'm sure in New Japan they fucking hit hard. And it probably hurts if somebody else, but it's a stupid move. It takes too much effort at that when you know what I mean? It just looks hokey as fuck to me. I cannot deal with the New Japan elbow or forearm to the clavicle. That shit looks fake as shit to me.
The reason why it's fake, right? I don't think it's necessarily even the punches or the impact. It's every time they hit and then they stay there, they take it and then, and they hit it back. It's like an anime fight lah.
Yeah, but it doesn't work, especially in the era of MMA. Which is, to me, very weird because the Japanese fans watch MMA, you know? And like, I don't know. Maybe this is the Americanized version of that Japanese thing and they made it a lot more, like, safe.
I got into wrestling not because of the fighting style. I got into wrestling because of the characters. So sometimes this kind of thing really just go over my head. I don't really look at the stories. All I know is like, if they are good, or like they're comparing as the characters, I kind of like, okay lah, I can really suspend my disbelief.
Yeah. Well, okay, but only so much, you know what I mean? When they do phantom shots like that, that's when it all falls apart. Irvin says, I thought it's because technically wrestling cannot punch face, supposed to be DQ. Is it so in Japan? Because in the WWE is you cannot punch with a closed fist, right? Open fist, so it has to be like... I must ask Referee Ryan. Hey, Referee Ryan, yes, please give us the rules.
Oh my god, yeah, please. But the thing is, right, I've seen how Bret Hart give his working punches and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's the partnership between the one that hits and the one that gets hit. Yeah. But the way they snap their head, the way they react, like Undertaker react or Stone Cold react, like, I mean, it's top notch, man. But
Bret Hart, freaking Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, Eddie, that generation, like I feel like that generation, you know, of wrestler.
You tell me you watch a Chris Benoit match that you don't believe that he's beating the shit out of the other people.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I don't know if it's just a fact of today's wrestling, they just want it safer. So if it's an issue of safer, then okay, I can get into it. But
it can't be an issue of safety. You know why? Then why the fuck are you doing 450 flips? And all these crazy suicide dives.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that's then there's the whole Young Buck indie bullshit stuff.
Okay.
And the stop it with the fucking forearm to the clavicle bullshit.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking give Young Buck some props. Okay. You know why?
Yeah.
I actually bothered to download on Kindle their book.
Did you say Tinder or Kindle?
Kindle.
Oh, okay, I thought you went on Tinder and downloaded it.
No. It wasn't published for free on Tinder.
Swipe right.
The problem is, right, bro, I fucking go Kinokuniya, right? I look at his book. I look at their book, right? $56. Are you fucking Obama? You know what I mean? Even Obama, like $60 is a reach.
Yeah. Kindle, how much? Kindle?
Fucking sell it for... Okay, so thank God Kindle was only $12.99.
Oh, okay, thank God, yeah.
But I rolled my eyes. I was like, this is a typical Young Bucks thing.
Hey, you cannot get the Young Bucks to sign your Kindle. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay, but here's why I give props. Because I really think that they succeeded in spite of like all the shit that we throw at them, right? They've gotten it by so many other people. Yeah. I completely forgot, bro, that what happened to them in TNA when they were this tag team. They called Vince Russo called them Generation Me. Okay. Were you watching TNA during this period? No. When Hogan and Bischoff was in charge of TNA, that weird ass period? No, not really. But I heard it was a clusterfuck lah. Yeah, it was a complete clusterfuck. Vince Russo looked at the two of them, look at this skinny fuck, say that, okay, you guys look like skinny pricks. We're gonna call you Generation Me. Because you guys represent all the typical like me. Yeah. And they were dressed like Teslas, like, you know, trying to look like the rockers and stuff. They actually got mentored by Marty Jannetty in mid 2000s. Okay. Like when they were running their own home promotion, so-called backyard wrestling promotion, right? They actually managed to invite a couple of like legitimate wrestlers to come and help them. One of them was obviously Martin Jannetty, and Martin Jannetty actually put in a good word for them to Shawn Michaels. Oh. And here's a crazy story that I read from the book, that in 2007, I think, and there is actually footage out there, bro, on YouTube. They got called out for a couple of dark matches on SmackDown. Yeah. I've seen it. I think it's Matt Jackson, the elder brother. He actually was involved in a squash match with the Big Show on SmackDown, a last man standing match. And his only thing that he did was he took a huge ass chokeslam through the table. Yeah. So when I look at the comment section, it's like, wow, did Big Show just choke slam his future boss? Yeah. So but the funny thing was the story behind it was right after that. I think the wrestler saw that he could take a good bump. He could sell, which is interesting. But apparently he got sell really well. And Shawn Michaels actually took him to Johnny Laurinaitis and say that, okay, I vouch for these kids. Marty had great words for them, and anyone who is Marty is a fan of, I will vouch for them.
Yeah.
Problem is, for their tryout match, they can only do it before SmackDown. So like when they met Shawn Michaels, he was on Raw, right? So like they stayed for another day or what, then they went to the SmackDown taping. But when they were there, John Laurinaitis basically don't bother shit about him. So the only reason like he even like listened at that point was because Shawn Michaels was the one that gave the good word. But because Shawn Michaels wasn't there, like they heck care lah,
yeah. So just let him go. I'm surprised they didn't look at them and think, oh, this is Hardy's 2.0.
Yeah, I was surprised because but the funny thing is Vince Russo saw that exactly because they say like, okay, you guys look like skinny fucks, can call generation me, but I don't want you to look like the Rockers. I want you to look more like the Hardy Boys. Go to Hot Topic, buy a bunch of fishnets, bandana. So they literally did the Hardy Boys gimmick. But then this is something that I completely forgot until I read the book.
Okay,
they actually got some heat early on in their career during this TNA run because they never shook the hands of the veterans.
Oh my god, yes.
So like the apparently Rob Van Dam kind of like leaked it on like the dirt sheet and say like, oh, there's some of these young people do not know how to respect their veterans, blah blah blah. But so Matt was writing from his point of view. The thing is, it's not that he never shake the hand. He would have shake the hand. It's just that like because at that point in time RVD was the TNA champion.
Yeah.
And he was like basically the top guy. He was always in his own world, in his locker room. He's probably smoking weed and shit, So like, it's not that they didn't they didn't say no to shaking his hand. It's just that he was never around, So, but I think the implication Hardy Boys, Rob Van Dam felt was that they as a young guy should seek him out, introduce themselves and like shake the hand. So like but then obviously the dirt sheets took it and like spitball it and like it just grew into this whole thing where young bucks are disrespectful to veterans in the sport. Then right after that, a few weeks later, when they were doing they got fired from TNA because they were making a lot of money. TNA actually cheated them from a lot of their money. They only paid them like 100. So okay, the cool thing about their book, right? They're very open about how much they earn at every step of their career, and how like certain promoters cheat them out of their money, that kind of shit. So when they sign up for TNA, both of them just had their first kids, and they were still struggling to to get paid fully in wrestling lah. So they thought TNA would be their big break where they'll be stable, right? But TNA only paid them $100 per match, and they had to pay for their own flight and accommodation.
Shit.
So there were certain days where they actually fly to Orlando, wait the whole day, and then they say, hey, we got no time or no match for you.
Oh, okay.
So they were losing money. So they were actually dirt poor and they were like living on beans and shit. So when they got fired, they literally think like, oh, alamak, where are we going to go after this, right?
They had to make it lah. So that's how they started this whole indie shit. They started...
Yeah.
Essentially, they're the ones who started Pro Wrestling Tees.
They actually went back to WWE to try, to get a job again.
Yeah.
But this time, what happened? They never introduced themselves to Booker T. Then Booker T said, they reiterated like, oh, you know what? I met these kids that RVD said, and yeah, they didn't shake my hand. Okay lah. So essentially, it boils down to they are disrespectful shits lah. No, they are not. That's the thing.
Are they?
So basically, a lot of the shit that happened is just like
bad timing.
Bad timing. It's like really. But the thing is, the internet blew it out of proportion. So, okay, what made them dickheads, right? Disrespectful shit in the end was they reach a point where they try to be nice, they never get noticed. And then they never intend to hurt people. People take them the wrong way and then call them disrespectful shit. So, instead of trying to go against and try to be a Cody and try to justify the promo, they just embrace it. And you know what? If you guys think that we're the shits, we're just gonna go.
So okay, hang on. So
that way,
essentially, what their run is right now is essentially what happened in their entire life, because they tried to quote unquote do the right thing and it just fell flat on its face. So now they're like, let's be dicks, and it's working for them.
Yeah, which is funny, right? It's like whatever we hated about the Young Bucks, they completely embrace it. and they just fuck it. Like how we always complain that they just do flippy shit and just do 10 million super kicks, right?
And then they purposely do more.
Yeah, they purposely just to piss people off.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like their marks or their fans embrace it. They love it because everything that is traditional about wrestling, then they spit on. Like for example, what they like to do, they always like to steal other people's gimmicks.
Yeah.
The stool sweep gesture, all the NWO shit. Like that is a no-no in wrestling. Right? You can't take people's moves. Right?
So they just take lah.
They fucking do a tombstone as like a setup move.
Yeah.
You know that kind of shit. So basically, they are literally anti-authority, and that created their fan base lah.
Yeah. So they essentially are this. I don't want to say they are the wrestlers for this generation of people who are like fuck
snarky, smarky.
Yeah,
and I think the reason why they became like that is because they just weren't accepted by the traditional norms. But the funny thing was when they got really, really big, so ROH, they signed apparently the biggest independent contract in wrestling history with ROH, where they were making same amount as like some of the normal mid-card level wrestlers in WWE.
Right.
Actually, before so ROH didn't want to give them creative control for their storylines.
Sure.
And they wanted it. So they thought like, okay, they can renegotiate a new contract with at least a bit of creative control, because even at that point when they did not have creative control, they actually helped to bring in a lot of interesting ideas, like the feud with the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had that ladder match right before Hardy Boys returned to WWE. So, they were quite integral in ROH becoming popular again. But ROH didn't see their value. So they tried to reach out to WWE and to see their street value. They just want to know what is their street value. To see whether it's worth it to stay with ROH. So Triple H was very honest, and they gave a lot of credit to Triple H because they said that Triple H really wanted them to come.
Okay.
And gave them, like Braun Strowman, $1 million contract. They would have been the first ever tag team in history to be signed on a multi-million downside guaranteed deal. But at the same time, obviously Tony Khan came into the picture, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But Tony Khan gave them, didn't give them $1 million contracts, but the only difference that they gave them was the ability to, to create, to have creative freedom.
Yeah, the what was it? JR always talks about the 3 C's. It's either cash or creative. Oh no, the 2 C's.
Cash or creative.
Yeah, cash
Those
or creative.
Those are the 2 reasons, right? Yeah. Even Triple H even tried to kowtow to them, and what they say, like, we will treat you like stars from the get-go. We will even give you a 3-month clause where if you feel like, the creative is not what you think, you can leave after 3 months.
Oh.
That was how much, he was willing to bend over backwards for him. Because at that point in their career, they were making more money from their merch than any other wrestler, including WWE. Because they had their own direct deal with Hot Topic. And Pro Wrestling Tees was essentially created on their backs. So, they were literally living the DIY life where they are successful without the big promotions. So I think that DIY culture and I don't give a fuck is the thing that brought them to the dance.
Right.
I think that's why AEW was such a natural option.
Fit.
Yeah.
I think that's the most positive stuff we've ever talked about the Young Bucks on this show.
Yeah, I have to give them credit because I didn't want to read that book because I got so pissed off by the price.
Oh God!
But I gave it a chance, and you know what? I have to respect their hustle. If nothing else, they hustle their way to where they are.
Sure. Okay, let's get back on point now to NXT, the main event. Here we go.
Yes, the main event.
Okay, fatal 5-way for the NXT Championship with your champion Karrion Kross, who by the week is boring the shit out of me. I'm sorry, but is anything that he does interesting?
Having Scarlett beside him is interesting to me.
Yeah, if that's all there is, that's not a good thing, right? And the thing with his gimmick too is it's by the week it's getting watered down. It's less of a doomsday thing. It's more of a I'm just a random badass.
I miss Finn Balor, bro.
Yeah. Dude, Finn Balor just commands your attention, you know what I mean? He just stand there, point at you like that, wow. Maybe it's the thirsty abs. Anyway, Karrion Kross, even Adam Cole, when Adam Cole came into promo on NXT against Karrion Kross, I'm like, Adam Cole just took away all of Karrion Kross's heat.
Adam Cole just shit on him in that promo, man. He killed it.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I root for Adam Cole. Who... This bald guy with making angry faces doesn't look natural. Adam Cole exudes it. You talk about X Factor, right? You talk about the intangible. There you go. And right now, Cross, for whatever reason, doesn't have that intangible.
Yeah.
They're trying to give it to him. They're trying to figure it out. It's just not working for me. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly is another guy who is like, they're trying to push him, but I don't see it also. Like, he's like the work rate guy.
He's very vanilla lah. That's the problem with him.
Yeah. Like, even like they try to sort of repackage, like he's wearing a bit more like jean vests and stuff like that. I'm like, it's still boring. Pete Dunne is another guy who like immediately you look at him, okay, he's a badass.
Wildcard.
Yeah.
Wildcard, yeah.
And Johnny Gargano, I mean, he's the funny heel guy now.
The thing about Johnny Gargano is I feel like this is not his level right now. Like, I mean, not that he's not a main eventer, but I think he can carry the brand by telling his story with the way defending his North American title.
No, he's there solely for the fact that he is an amazing performer, and he will, like, as a performer, make this match better.
I get what you mean. Do you think Karrion Kross will retain?
Like, I think that if they took the title off of him so fast, it just shows that they see what I see. Well, rather, I see I'm like in line with what they might see, that Karrion Kross is not really carrying the ball.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But I feel like they should give Karrion Kross one more chance. Yes.
Yeah.
And so this like literally will be his chance. Like how he fares in this match. It's gotta have to be a dominant win for Karrion Kross here.
There was this one comparison with Karrion Kross that some people were making online that I felt like if they portray him in this way, I think he can still come across as this badass dominant champion. Yep. They were talking about, there was this one part of like 2 weeks ago or what, where everyone was trying to take down Karrion Kross in the ring. Yeah. Like everyone double team or team up to get a gang out on Karrion Kross, and it took like multiple moves just to get him on his knees. It reminded a lot of people of that scene when everyone of the Avengers was trying to bring down Thanos in that moon planet thing.
Essentially, in the moon planet thing. Essentially, what you're saying is we need to portray Karrion Kross like Zeus,
or like this impenetrable god that to just get him down on his knees takes so much effort from the rest of them.
Okay, I think maybe you didn't get that reference. For the older wrestling fans who remember Zeus, that was
Zeus. Don't holds barred Zeus.
No holds barred Zeus. Where he literally was like, he just stood there and nobody could, he no-sold lah. Basically, he no-sold everything.
I mean, but in the way that doesn't make everyone look like jackasses lah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it though, Karrion Kross, size-wise, like if Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano tried to like punch him, like I could buy him shrugging it off a little bit. He has the size. Didn't
he destroy like Ciampa in his debut match? Yeah, kind of debut. He also like but that kind of gave him that he's a little.
I don't know, like chat. If you want to weigh in, please do. But do you feel anything from Karrion Kross right now? You know, like he has a hot girlfriend who writhes around. That's about it, right?
Well, man, it's tough. It's tough because I always felt that the one that carried their duo was actually Scarlett. Scarlett even doesn't have to do much, right? But actually, when she talks, she's a great promo. She got great stage presence. I think Karrion Kross is just the guy at the back that she like with the eyes popping up.
Yeah. So he just like he yells a little bit. He like pretends to be very angry, but like I said, the second Adam Cole went in there to promo against him, I was like, wow, lao. Die. Yeah. It's like all his flaws freaking just were exposed.
But that's great. Like that how he bounces back from that, I think will prove the measure of him as a champion.
Like right now, the thing with NXT, and maybe like that's why when we talk about how NXT is sort of like in some weird way, I don't want to say in a holding pattern, but like there's not a lot of big buzz, is because your main champion is not a draw. Like all the like mid card, lower mid card, all those feuds are fun and exciting and interesting, but your main guy is not drawing.
Yeah,
and I don't think Raquel is that huge draw either. You know, she's a dominant champion, but she's not a main draw.
Maybe that's why the NXT is kind of in a downturn because like the champions are not that compelling.
Yeah, like if you imagine you had Karrion Kross as champion and men's champion, but you had Io Shirai fresh, like in a feud with Rhea Ripley as the women. At least there's your main event. scene,
Yeah.
right? There's something, wow, really exciting to watch. Whereas the other title can take a back seat. But right now, both of their main titles, men's and women's, are sort of like,
So you're saying that NXT still pulls up good matches and like it's a well scripted show.
Yeah, wow machine, yeah.
It's just that right now the particular champions doesn't interest you.
Yeah. Irvin brings up a good point. No crowd, hard to get people behind them. Perception is reality. That is true. But like, okay, I'm trying to imagine then, like, let's say Karrion Kross in the ring with lots of people, right? I still don't buy it. Like, nothing that he has done has really stood out other than the first few weeks. It's like a lot of, you know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like the Justice League movie. There was a lot of like, oh my god, you know, we can expect like big name. The trailers make it look amazing, but then you watch the movie itself, it's like, okay, only
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Again lah, it's a character driven show. As much as WWE wants to say like, oh, it's all about the WWE, the company itself, but it is the characters that drives the show.
No, it's true lah. I mean, I you can't doubt that NXT has propelled a lot of wrestlers that may or may not have been main stars anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and
because,
it's been proven, what?
Yeah. The NXT audience is very like they will really support their men and women. So I do get that argument, but that aside, Karrion Kross just doesn't bring it through for me. Like this, like I said, when you compare Karrion Kross to a Finn Balor, when you compare him to an Adam Cole, it's like, oh, it's immediately night and day when they promo.
Yeah, I don't disagree, bro. And I'm still waiting for Karrion Kross to give me a statement performance.
You mean Oh.
Yeah, yes. That creates a statement.
Yeah, I think this might be the one where he like demolishes everybody.
So it's do or die.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in this one, Karrion Kross will just demolish Cole, O'Reilly, Dune, and Gargano, and everyone's just gonna sell like a motherfucker for him.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Put him over. So, at least there's something exciting to look forward to. Hey,
this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend. Is this AEW on Friday or Wednesday?
The AEW is gonna be on Friday for the next couple of weeks because of the NBA playoffs.
Oh, actually, it's very smart. You know, very smart. Now that they're getting people conditioned to Friday, then when Rampage comes along, it's like, oh, okay, it's Friday night. Yeah, it's normal.
Hey, you know what's another smart thing that they do? They start their show at 10 p.m. When SmackDown finishes.
That's actually going to be very interesting, right? Because obviously now it's not direct competition, so you don't have to worry about trading ratings and stuff like that. So now after people are done with the high of watching SmackDown, they're like, okay lah, can watch a bit more wrestling. Boom.
Maybe that's smart of them.
So,
but the thing is, a lot of people were talking about AEW on Friday. What happened in AEW more than what happened on SmackDown.
Yeah. Like WWE, I think because of all these movements backstage as well, they're probably all also kind of in a holding pattern. But we'll have to see, you know, give it a few weeks, see what pans out, what, you know, boils out in terms of the rumors and innuendo.
I hope that right now, obviously, it's expected after the WrestleMania, there's always a down period, right?
Yeah.
And I should consider ourselves lucky this year because during this down period, we suddenly have all this bunch of awesome documentaries and stuff. So at least that's great. But we hope that as the summer chugs along, like we want to get invested in current product. So give us a reason to.
Irvin brings up a good point. The problem though is people don't watch till 12 midnight, so they front load the show. Well, then again, knowing AEW's audience, right? They are very diehard loyal. So you'll have your diehards watching all the way till 12. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. They will probably front load like the 11 o'clock hour or 10 o'clock hour, 10 to 11 will be all like the best shit.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. I just hope that, you know, the storylines continue to be interesting.
One more thing that Irvin brought up, and I completely forgot about it, but I remember this from last week's AEW, right? You know what the main event was? And this goes to the whole front loading of the show. It was Dustin Rhodes versus Nick Comoroto. I remember that because you know what I did?
What?
I was watching, like, I was interested in it. And then the main event came, I fast forward. I was like, fuck it, I don't care.
Oh dear
So-
God! I mean,
That might be the way actually
if
moving
Dustin
forward.
wasn't a draw in 1996, I don't think he would be a draw in 2021.
Oh, I'm sure Goldust was a draw at some point. But I mean, the point is, it'll be interesting to see how they book AEW Rampage or the upcoming Dynamites as well, if they do it at that time, right? Like,
Yeah.
just putting all the happening stuff in front, and then the end is like, oh, and your main event, Joey Janela versus
Holy
the Dark
shit.
Order.
Talk about outsize like spread of like your competition, man. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be weird. But okay, you know, after we're gonna review next week, TakeOver in your
Yeah.
house, and next week, the week after, will actually be Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah. Then we'll preview it, we'll review it, and stuff like that. So lots of stuff. Like, here's the thing: there's always something to talk about in pro wrestling, and that's what we love about this
Yeah.
sport.
Well, you know, every Monday, like I mean, whether for better or for worse, like there's no week where like, hey bro, there's nothing to talk about, boring.
Yeah, no.
There's always
like,
something to talk about.
The thing about wrestling is we can, even if there's nothing to talk about, we can watch some old shit and reminisce about the good days. Like watching this top 50 tag teams thing that the WWE has out, right? It's made me want to watch like 90s wrestling suddenly, like early 90s. It just,
Like some of the legendary tag teams during the era. lah.
yeah, let's just watch like fucking like old school Bret Hart matches or
Do
old
it,
school.
bro. Keep your love alive.
Bro. We should find one day we do it on Discord, like our own little private watch along.
And then just get whoever your fans for your Twitch to come over.
Yeah, well, and all of us here on, you know, the Kick to the Gut family as well, you know? Just because, and I would love for it to be like a match you've never watched also, bro. Like, not your era type match. Just to
Sure.
see, like, you know, just, it was just, I'm just talking about those snug punches and it just looked more real. Anyway.
You know one match I've never watched in its entirety? Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect from 91 SummerSlam. I've always heard about it, but I never watched it.
Bro, let's do it. Let's do it.
I think we did a watch along of SummerSlam in London, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Wembley.
yeah, we did. I think
We
so.
did we did one of the seasons. Yeah, I haven't watched some of the classic Bret Hart matches.
Yeah. Wow, this is Bret Hart appreciation all of a sudden, huh?
Of course, bro. Guys, better watch A&E biography. Bret
Yes.
Hart is out.
Absolutely.
If you want, I can send you the the link.
Okay. Well, that aside, everybody, thank you so much for watching, hanging out. And if you're listening to the podcast after the fact, thank you for downloading the podcast as well. As always, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, follow us, drop us a like, Kick to the Gut. Anytime you want, slide into our DMs and, you know, chat with us about wrestling. We love to talk about wrestling.
I can't wait to talk about In Your House, and I'm looking forward to what AEW is going to talk about. Also, another biography is coming out on Vice that is not Dark Side of the Ring that I am looking forward to, which I posted today.
China.
So China.
Yes, the 8th wonder of the world.
That's going to be interesting.
Wait, she's the 9th or 8th? 9th.
She's the ninth
Eighth,
wonder of the world.
Eighth was
Is
Andre.
the Giant.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
dear.
everybody have yourselves a good Monday. And well, take care of yourselves. Yeah.
Yes, please.
It's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. Have a good day.
See ya.